What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to a mock draft central right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. And we're going to be talking about Pro Football Focus has a 7-round mock draft of the New York Giants, and it is very, very intriguing. And if you've been watching our personal channels on Unpopular Opinion Sports and Big Pat Sports Talk, we've been cranking up the Giants content. So why not put us together and give you guys some content here with Mock Draft Central on the Giants? So let's get into it. We're going to be right back after the intro. Welcome to NFL Mock Draft Central. All right. So here with this Mock Draft Central, we're going to be basically mocking the mock. And Pro Football Focus has it to where they had a 7-round mock draft for the New York Giants. And on this one at pick 3, they got Travis Hunter.
Oh, go ahead.
They got Travis Hunter at pick 3.
There you go.
So it says, stating that after adding Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, the New York Giants don't necessarily have to reach for a quarterback at number 3. Instead, they opt for a superstar two-way player in this mock draft. There hasn't been a prospect like Travis Hunter in years. While his upside as a receiver, his elite ball skills and fluidity make him even more dangerous as a cornerback. No matter where he plays, expect him to contribute on both sides of the ball. So, NYG, what do you think about that, man?
No. Not for the Giants. Not for the Giants. You know, I'm in the Sador Sanders camp, if you want to call it that. And it's nothing against Travis Hunter. And I got some coming out, so I don't want to leak too much talking about Travis, but I don't like the fit. I don't like the pick. I'm just leave it at that.
I don't like the pick if they're planning on playing him at cornerback. I believe he's a way better receiver than at cornerback. And at cornerback in the NFC East and on this Giants team, it just doesn't make any sense. You just signed Paul Debo. You just drafted Deontay Banks. You just drafted Drew Phillips. You know, where does he fit in that secondary? You know what I'm saying? I think you have to give Deontay Banks his chance to rebound from a sophomore season and it goes so great, even though he played every top receiver in the league and some of them twice last year, and I knew he was going to struggle. So you're not playing in the slot over Drew Phillips. Drew Phillips showed that he's a Pro Bowl talent in the slot last year. You just signed a Debo to a $18 million a year contract. So it doesn't really make sense to play him that corner. And if you vision him as a corner, I don't agree with this pick. And I don't believe Shedeur Sanders is a reach. You're not reaching if you're drafting your quarterback for the future.
Thank you.
I don't understand the whole reach thing based on what they're saying here in this mock draft. But, you know, that was the 3rd pick, man. They took Travis Hunter with the 3rd pick. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't. Look, man. Here's the thing about Travis Hunter too, real quick. You gotta understand. He's wanting to play both sides of the ball, so you gotta figure out how you gonna divide his snaps between, because he's insisting, according to everything he's saying, that he's gonna play wide receiver and corner in the NFL, which is fine. But you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna divide those snaps up. Like it's a lot going on here with somebody like Travis Hunter, because he's so dynamic and he's such a rare player. And then if you're the Giants, do you even trust the Giants to work with that? I don't. But again, it's more about the Giants for me than Travis Hunter, the player. I think Travis Hunter is great. This is not a reach or anything like that. I think he's great. He's deserving of a top 3 pick. Absolutely. Not with the Giants.
That's a fact. So, hey, and Shedeur Sanders was not picked in the draft, so they went with Travis Hunter over Shedeur Sanders. New England isn't taking him. Jacksonville isn't taking him. They said the Raiders weren't going to take him, and they said Pittsburgh would trade up to number 7 and get Shedeur Sanders. So, all right, let's go down the list out of the first round and see who the Giants get next. And what a surprise. The New York Giants trade back into the first round, and they select Jackson Dart, QB from Ole Miss. The Giants receive the number 27 pick. They give the Ravens the number 34 pick and the number 99 overall pick. So for a second and a third round pick, they move back up into the first, and they select Jackson Dart at 27 after passing on Shedeur Sanders at 3. Now they're saying just what I just said. After passing on a quarterback with the number 3 pick, the Giants move into the back end of the first round for their eventual long-term answer at the position in this NFL mock draft. So Shedeur Sanders can be the long-term answer, but Jackson Dart can. They aptly named Jackson Dart has a strong arm and ideal ball placement across the middle of the field. I guess the 2 attributes that they say Shedeur Sanders lacks the most. And he's also shown some dual threat capabilities as a runner. He doesn't seem like a quarterback ready to start right away, but he's shown the tools over his time at Ole Miss that could project him as a future starter at the NFL level. So, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, number 27 overall in this mock draft. NYG, how you feeling about that? They trade back up and get Jackson Dart after passing on Shedeur Sanders at 3.
Again, I don't like the pick. And it's not about the player. It's about this narrative of Shedeur Sanders. So, according to this mock draft, he's good enough. He's not good enough to be taken with the 3rd overall pick, but he's good enough for Pittsburgh to trade and be taken 7th and trade a future first-round pick. But wait, there's more. For the Giants, he wasn't good enough for you to take at 3, but Jackson Dart is good enough for you to trade assets to jump back in the first round to get. No, Jackson Dart is not better than Shedeur Sanders. That's what you're saying when you make a move like this. And to be honest with you, a lot of people selling this narrative, but I promise you, in any other class, Jackson Dart wouldn't even be getting this much hype. He wouldn't.
No.
He wouldn't. Last year, he wouldn't be getting this much hype.
Last year, they considered him like a 3rd round pick compared to those quarterbacks last year.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole logic of this. It's just based on what they said, man. Based on what they said after passing on quarterback with number 3, Giants move back in the first round to get the eventual long-term answer at the position in this NFL mock draft. So you can't take your long-term answer at 3, but you can trade assets to come up to get the third best quarterback to be your long-term answer. That doesn't make any sense.
At all.
That doesn't make any sense at all, bro.
And that's the conundrum that they in, bro. Because if you don't take Shedeur Sanders, whatever quarterback you take is going to be compared to Shedeur Sanders. So he better fucking be good. He better turn out. And you know what? Because that's what you'll be saying. That wasn't worth it, but we can take one in the second round because we like this prospect better. You know? So, I mean, they playing with fire.
Yes,
they playing with fire. They in a conundrum because now you really gotta be careful about if you take a quarterback at all. If you pass on Shedeur, you really do, because again, whoever you take, you basically saying that was a better option for you than taking your future franchise quarterback at 3.
Yeah, but
and not having to trade anything, just make the pick.
That's what they decided the Giants should do in this mock draft. So the 34th pick, the Ravens took Donovan Ezeruaku, edge from Boston College. So they took him at 34.
I'd rather had him than Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
What about you, bro?
Yeah, I would rather had him than Jackson Dart. That's a fact. Well, with the Giants' next pick, at number 65, they take Cameron Williams, offensive tackle out of Texas. Now, I actually like this pick. I like this pick a whole lot, man. I think this kid is seriously underrated at the offensive tackle position. Cameron Williams is a huge asset to get. He says Cameron Williams isn't as consistent as his college teammate Banks, but he possesses superior size and skill and still has the length, power, and freakish movement skills to give him a very high ceiling at the next level. Yes, he does. And if we can put this guy like him on the bench behind a Andrew Thomas, behind a Jermaine Illuminor, I do believe that this pick will turn out to be pretty doggone good. This is the first pick that I truly like. With this mock draft, man. How you feel about this one?
Scroll down to the next 3 picks for me real quick. I see Quinshawn Judkins there.
Quinshawn Judkins, Jalen Milroe, Trey Harris,
Marcus Mimbo. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I would say this. We definitely could use help on the offensive line, so I'm not going to complain. But maybe, I don't know. You see, you messed up when you took Dart. You could have had Milroe on the 3rd. Could have had him in the 3rd. And if you would have took a lineman in the 2nd, instead of trading your pick, you could have took Quinshawn Judkins. But Williams is not Connor Williams is not a bad player, man. Like I'm not dogging the player. Again, this is not about the players in this draft. These are just bad draft selections from what's available, man. Like I'm not feeling it, Pat. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and complain about the Williams pick. I think it's a hell of a pick, and it helps us out tremendously because you could put him in the guard as well. So I'm not complaining about the Williams pick. This is the best pick out of this mock draft so
out
far.
Out of the 3.
Yeah, I'm not going to poo-poo another player because what they did was something else. I actually love this pick. If we're able to get a guy like him in the 3rd round, that would be pretty freaking dope. Because that's way better than what a Zudu or McKeithen or not. I think Kubas is pretty good too, but he can play right tackle for sure. And he could be that swing tackle for years to come, or you could kick him in the guard when you need him to play guard. So I actually like that pick a whole lot right here. Even though the Jackson Dart shit happened, but I like this pick a whole lot. But as you said, Trey Harris, Marcus Mumbo, all those other guys, Elijah Arroyo.
Oh my God.
I'd rather have Williams over Arroyo in this situation based on what they did. So we're going to the next Giants pick. We got rid of 99. So I think we got to go to, and they took Jacob Parrish, cornerback from Kansas State. He's all right, but we didn't need a corner, so that doesn't hurt us.
Right there. There you go.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, I think that, that's the pick right here. All right, at 105, the Giants take Cam Scatterbo out of Arizona State. Love this pick right here. It gives us a power back. What do you think about this pick, man? Cam Scatterbo, a New York Giant.
Finally, they did something right in this mock draft, bro. This was getting nasty, man. But I love this pick, man. I love this pick, man. Cam Scatterbo, one of my top 5 fits for the New York Giants, man. And again, we talking about toughness, power. He can pick up those short yardage and goal line situations that the Giants failed to pick up so many times last year and in years previously, even with Saquon Barkley. Cam Scatterbo gives you that. He can catch out the backfield as well. So you get that. And he just brings a different energy, a different type of toughness, man. You know what I'm saying? A different type of swag, man. I really like this pick right here, man. Finally, they got something right.
Yeah, I love this pick for the Giants. I think Cam Scatterbo brings the skill set that we're lacking as far as toughness in the run game. He's not going to be super explosive, running 99-yard touchdowns, but he's going to be that guy that's going to pick up those tough yards and set the tone for this offense going against people like the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. You'll be that guy, take some hits, give it back to him. So, yeah, I love this pick for the Giants at 105 in this mock draft, man. I actually think they hit on the last 2 picks. Williams helps out the offensive line, and Cam Scatterbo.
I'm iffy on that Williams pick. I ain't down in it, but I'm iffy on it right now.
And Cam Scatterbo helps us out in the run game. So I like the last 2 picks for the Giants in this mock draft. But those first 2 picks are a little iffy only because they want to play Hunter at corner. It really doesn't make any sense. And then you trade up for Jackson Dart when you could have took Shadur Sanders at 3. But other than that, I'm actually kind of cool with this mock draft towards the bottom of it. But we'll see exactly what they'll do after Mr. Cam Scatterbo at 105. So a couple of guys that went in that round. Devin Neal went at running back. Damon Martinez went after him at running back. Looks like Bashar Tootin won a pick right after that. So this is a round for running backs. And so the Giants got their running back in this round. I don't believe we have we got a 5th round pick coming up. No, we don't. I guess they gave up the 5th round pick too.
For Jackson Dart.
No, they didn't. 154, Antoine Powell Ryland Jr. from Virginia Tech. Edge rusher from Virginia Tech, man. So they got an edge rusher in the 5th round. I think this kid is talented. I like the way he plays the game, man. He plays it with power and speed. You got to do a little bit more research on him as far as what he would bring to the system with the New York Giants, but
I think he was at the Senior Bowl, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's got potential. He does have potential. I watched him a little bit at the Senior Bowl. He was winning some reps, so I give him that. I mean, in the 4th round, it's going to be somebody you're going to have to work with. But I like this pick because you got to continue to stack pieces on that defensive line and in that front 7. You got it every draft. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You got to take one every draft. So, if you feel you can coach this player up, then take him in the 4th round. Low risk, high reward type situation right here, man. I actually like the pick. And he was productive in college, man. You see his numbers, so.
Yeah, in his college career, he had 19 tackles for loss, 16 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. I think playing at Virginia Tech for 3 years, so that's not bad. He averages about 5 sacks a season, a forced fumble a season, average about 6 tackles for loss a season. So, I mean, he's a player. He's a developmental player, and we can definitely use him to come in and, give us some reps at the edge position. We did sign a free agent from the Cardinals to be our 3rd edge rusher behind Thibodeau and Brian Burns. So, yeah, this guy, give him some time, and maybe he could turn it to what was the guy's name from the Bills that played all them years? Something Davis. I can't think of his name. He played a whole bunch of years for the Bills, and he went to the Jaguars a little bit. He reminds me of that type of player. So, in the 5th round, I think this is a very good value pick. I think they got some value picks in this draft. It might not have been the picks that you wanted, but they got some value picks in this draft. I just don't agree with the top half of it at all. But you better make sure Jackson Dart turns out to be that guy. So after 154, let's look at some names at the 154 that was taken. Tommy Hill, not looking for that. Mills, defensive tackle, was taken. Miles Frazier from Tampa Bay got him. Okay. Ty Felton from Maryland. Hey, Jake Barnstew. We talked to him at the Senior Bowl. Garrett Dillinger. Garrett Dillinger was in the 5th round? Wow.
The Eagles of all people. They just keep getting better.
Right.
Thomas Fadone, the second, our boy from Nebraska, also going to the Eagles.
Yeah, Ja Joyner, edge from Minnesota, was taken. Nick Martin, Oklahoma State linebacker. Trevor Etienne was taken, but we already took a running back, so that really don't matter. Jalen Lane,
I like that
pick right there to the Bills. Jack Kaiser, back to back. We talked to both those guys
picks.
At the Senior Bowl.
2 good picks. Both spring Buffalo Bills too, both of them.
Yep, Longer Bean went from Rutgers, went to the Patriots. Hey, Crawshaw, punter from the Bills.
The Bills
taking all the people we interviewed, huh? Okay. That's what's up. Nick Nash.
Might have to start doing Buffalo Bills content if the drafts turn out this way.
Right. Nick Nash, that's a sleeper for the Ravens right there. I like that pick. So, round 6, we do not have a pick in round 6.
Got one is 7, right? We got one.
Yeah, we got a pick in the 7.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, 2. 7. Yeah, so we take Warren Brinson, defensive tackle from Georgia, at 219. Another developmental player right there. That's another developmental player right there in Warren Brinson, defensive tackle from Georgia. I like the pick. It's in the 7th round. You can't get a superstar in the 7th round all the time. So you have to see exactly what this guy brings to you. Is he a pass rusher? Is he a run stopper? You have to see what he brings to the team. But I am happy that they went back to the trenches. Warren Brinson from Georgia. Hey, he played at Georgia, so he has to have some type of talent. What do you think about going defensive tackle here in the 7th round?
I like it. I mean, again, trenches. That is where the Giants need to get better at outside of the quarterback position. It's the trenches, man. So, again, it don't hurt to take a Georgia player. I don't know much about the guy, but it doesn't hurt to take a Georgia player. And if, like you said, if you can develop him to give you snaps inside, alongside Dexter Lawrence, or even spell Dexter Lawrence in some situations, that would be great, man. If you can get some depth on along those lines, man. Because some of these players just ain't panning out for the Giants. These Jordan Rileys, DJ Davidsons. I don't know what they doing with Elijah Chapman's. I don't know what they doing with some of these players. Good rotational pieces, but you know, if you can get a steal and get a player that's where you got to hit. Sometimes you got to get some of these late round picks to pop and stop being so dependent on the first 2 picks to be all and everything. You got to work the magic in these part of the draft. So, but enough said, man.
I'm gonna be real with you. I like this pick a lot. If we can get something like this in the 7th round, because this is actual film. This is not highlights. This is actual film.
Yeah, he even wears
like he's sneaky quick, man.
97 on. I like it.
Yeah, I actually love this pick in the 7th round. You get something like this in the 7th round, shit, that's better than what we got right now. As far as the people that's backing up, I'll take him over Nacho right now.
That's what I'm saying, man. Nacho is cheeks, man. No disrespect, but you gotta go, man. Time's ran out.
Yeah, I actually take that over him right now. That's crazy. But that was the pick in 220.
Cal Manangai.
Yep, Cal Manangai won the 7th round. And I think that's it. They didn't give us another pick. I don't think they put our extra 7th round pick in there. Oh yeah, they did. Here we go. Marcus Ware, offensive guard from Montana State. That's that athletic guard that a lot of people are looking at. He's a very developmental player. Marcus Ware from Montana State. And why not in the 7th round? You know, why not? You actually get him for a cheaper contract and offer him a bigger contract as an undrafted free agent. So why not take him right there in the 7th round at 246? So I think he can go in there and you can have him on the practice squad for a year or 2 and let him develop and see what he turns into. You brought in Marcus McKeithen and all these other guys, Hudson and everybody, so might as well bring him in and see exactly what he can do. Not a wasted pick. It's a 7th round pick. So if he turns out to be anything as far as a backup in the league, you won. So
yeah. I mean, you gotta, like I said, you gotta keep adding to the lines, the offensive and defensive line. So took 2 defensive players that can play on the line, you know, 1 linebacker, 1 D tackle, and then you got 2 offensive line players. You got an offensive tackle and an offensive guard. So I think that part of this draft, I think they did okay at. You know what I mean? They still passed on some players that I personally would have taken over a few of the players, especially that 3rd round pick. But again, you did fix a need on your team, and that's on the offensive and defensive line. I'm not going to come up here and preach that and then poo-poo a draft where you take 2 defensive linemen and 2 offensive linemen. So if we grading it, you want to give a grade, I give it B-. That's being nice.
Yeah, that's being
B-
nice.
to C. I'll probably give it a C+.
Yeah, I'm giving it a C. I'm giving it a C because only because you're playing with Travis Hunter is at DB. If you're playing that with Travis Hunter, if you're playing with Travis Hunter was at receiver, I would have gave this draft a B+, close to 8. But if you're playing as him at DB, that pick doesn't make any sense for the Giants. The Jackson Dart pick doesn't make any sense for the Giants. Now, you did shake back. You got Cameron Williams. You got Cam Scatterbo. You got the defensive tackle from Georgia. You went with another offensive lineman after that. So basically, it was a bunch of trenches after that, which I'm not mad at. But the whole Jackson Dart and Travis Hunter thing is crazy to me because you're planning on using Travis Hunter as a cornerback, and it's been reported by people inside the building, and we heard it. Yep. So if the plan was at receiver, I'd damn near give this draft an A. No, I didn't get the quarterback that I wanted, but I got trenches and I got another weapon to pair with a Jackson Dart per se if he comes in there. I still don't think he will survive over there, but it is what it is. But with you playing Travis Hunter at DB, what you doing now, you're just alienating people now. You're taking away Banks. You're going to have to take away Drew Phillips a little bit. And then on the opposite side of the ball, you're not developing him with the quarterback that you drafted. Because I think he's automatically the number 2 receiver to Malik Neighbors. Automatically. So this whole mock draft, it gives you the lowest of lows, and then it gives you
whack, man.
Okay.
To be honest with you, man, I tried to be nice, bro. This draft is whack, man.
So
this draft is whack, man. I'm sorry.
It depends on what they do, man. If they did this, I wouldn't be too excited, but
at all.
They did get a couple of people that you could be.
It's
excited
not the
for.
worst you could do, but it's pretty low.
It's pretty mid as per se, only because what you do with Travis Hunter.
That's a good word for it. Mid as hell.
It's all based on what you do with Travis Hunter. Because
Travis Hunter and Cam Scatterbo, and can't neither one of them throw the football. I don't believe in Jackson Dart, so that's why I'm not feeling this draft.
Yeah, not feeling it, but it's not as bad.
And you had to give up assets.
Well, at least you didn't have to give up assets for the next year. You only gave up assets in this year's
But look how many players we missed on because we didn't have those picks in those mid rounds. Or that second round, that third round pick.
You missed out on some second round picks for sure, but basically Jackson Dart was your second round pick. That's who you wanted and that's who you got. But in the very same draft, they had Milroe and them go.
What was the trade though? What they do?
They traded $34.99.
Yeah,
to move up to 27.
I don't like it. Give up 2.
So we'll see exactly what they do. If I'm not taking Shedeur Sanders, I'm definitely not trading up for a quarterback. That does not make any type of sense.
How?
If I'm not taking Shedeur Sanders at 3. And then he's not worthy of a top 5 pick, but he's worthy of a top 10 pick. He's good at 7, but not good at 3. That doesn't make any type of sense to me. But it is what it is, man. But the pick is in for the Giants. And y'all let us know right here at the Aboriginal Sports Network what y'all think about this mock draft from Pro Sports Network for PFSN for the New York Giants, that 7-round mock draft. We'll probably do a couple of more of these on some other teams and see exactly what they think about other teams drafting. But I'm not with it. I'm not extremely mad, but I'm not excited either about this draft. And it's just what it is, man. NYG, you got anything for the people before we get out of here?
I don't like this draft at all. And I don't like the first 2 to 3 picks, and I don't like the fact that you had to give up picks just to get a quarterback when you could have just took one. And remember, Jalen Milroe went in the 3rd round, but since you gave up 99 to get Jackson Dart, you ain't had a pick to pick him. Whack. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't see Jalen Milroe going to the 3rd round either, but we'll see.
But in this draft, we did, so we got to go by what happened in the draft. As if it was a real draft. You know what I'm saying? It's a whack draft. They made bad decisions. This GM team made bad decisions in this draft. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a fact. But we're going to get out of here, man. And thank y'all for tuning in. Come into the next time on Mock Draft Central right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. Man, I'm Big Pat Sports Talk. That's NYG22 of Popular Opinion Sports. And Roy's our boy. We getting out of here, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Doors our boy. Let's go.
Welcome to NFL Mock Draft Central.